What is going on? What's going on? Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Listen, this is my review for Legendary, and this is actually, we're going to cover season 2, episode 7 and episode 8 in this video. They actually dropped the two together, so you know that little streaming thing. So naturally, we said we watch both. So we're going to cover them both. Hey, still standing. What's up? Hey, haven't sent. So yeah, let's get started. Listen, season 2, episode 7. Episode 7, we led right out. Hey, Miguel, what's up, babe? The Oval Ball, and it was everything opulence and gender bending. So I just bust out laughing as soon as they said opulence. I said opulence. You own everything. Child, listen, it is what it is. So that's what it was all about. It was really all about gender bending. What's up, Julia? Hey, Natural Pole Sister TV. What's going on, baby? Mwah. What is going on? It's good to see you. Hey, Francis. Hi, Lucretia. So, yeah. So, listen, this is so funny, Lucretia, that you say that. Lucretia said Tishy was robbed. Welcome to Ballroom, because that was one of the things. I was actually having this conversation a little earlier. I was visiting another channel, another content creators channel, and we were having a conversation, and we were talking about the show versus real life Ballroom. And I've said it before, this is not like real life Ballroom. Real life Ballroom is cut. It's cut. It's very curt. It's very matter of fact. And I've said this over and over and over again. But what you see, like how Tishy was doing so good throughout this whole competition, and then things just went left. That's the Ballroom. That's how the Ballroom works. Literally, you jump on the floor. Everything you do could be correct, down to the last letter. You've done everything that the flyer that came out said, and there's a stinking bitch sitting on the panel. And I'm gonna say it again, a stinking bitch sitting on the panel who don't like you because you done had her man 3 days ago, and you thought she didn't know, but that whore knew, and she will wait. And when she see you come down, baby, chop. And that's it. There is no argument. There is no back and forth. I mean, they might have a back and forth, but all you're going to do is get into a fight. But it ain't going to change what it is. All these numbers and stuff that you see is 6 and 7. And no, that's not the real Ballroom. The real Ballroom is tens or chop, period. And it's not, there is no balance. Tens from everybody or chop. One person chop you, you're done. You're done. And that's it. So, yeah, the real Ballroom, that's why if you could make it in the Ballroom, you don't just become a legend. Everybody's not a legend. Everybody's not a statement, and everybody definitely is not a star. You know, it is what it is. It's tough. It's tough. And trust me, pageantry is the same. Pageantry is very shady. Very shady, but I can go on about that forever. Lots of politics. You think that the regular heterosexual pageants are full of politics? Baby, jump into one of these drag pageants, honey, and see the politics and the foolishness and the bullshit that goes on. Anyway, but it is what it is. I didn't make the rules. I'm just here trying to be pretty, honey. Anyway, moving on. So, the Oval Ball, it's all production, opulence, and everything was based in gender bending. House of Tishy assigned the elements. Okay, so there was an element given to each house that they had to actually do. House Tishy got to actually do it. First up was the House of Balenciaga, and they went with the Victorian era for their costuming and that. Again, you know, natural in the Victorian era, the gender lines were completely blurred. You know, men wore wigs and the men had bumps, and you know, the lines were completely blurred. Okay, fun, honey. Remember them little stupid curls right here? Ooh, them is so ugly, honey. But yeah, total blur of the gender lines. But their element was catwalk. Now, Miss Honey is back. I told y'all before, Honey is a star. Okay, but along with being a star, you need to be humble, and she's not very humble. Miss Honey is a bit of a bitch, but it is what it is. The little child, she's very talented. Very talented. She does really stand out, but she is a bit of a bitch, and we got to see a bit of that this time around with Miss Honey. So anyway, catwalk was their thing. The thing that they did that was different was the chanting over their mix. Honey actually did some commentary and some chanting over their mix. So she was getting her little groove on, and Deshaun told her, "Now, Miss Honey, don't be trying to come from a job, girl," because she was giving you the all that. And she was good. And she was good. That Honey is a star, I'm telling you. She is Ballroom. That child's going to be in the Ballroom. She's going to be something in the Ballroom, period. Her name's going to be ringing out long after that whore hangs up her pumps. She's really, really good. They did really well, and it was cool. It was different. It was Balenciaga. It was cool. It was what we expect from them. And toward the end, Mother bust out and took her wig off and gave you bald, honey, which everybody can't do it. Everybody can't do it, and everybody's not willing to do it. But she did, and especially with her being a femme queen, I was like, okay, Miss Shannon. She did the ball thing, and she look pretty. She really did look pretty. So they did that. Moving on. House of Tishy was spins and dips. Ciao. We was ready. Miss Simone, with her beautiful self, decided to come out as a boy. So she blurred the gender lines herself because she's straight up femme queen. She's like, I actually think she's the prettiest one on the show. I really do. I think she is the prettiest femme queen on the show. I really do. She's beautiful. She really is. But she came as a boy. She give me little Lord Fauntleroy toys. She still looked like a little girl. Just cute. Real cute little faggy boy. That's all. Look. Just as cute. Still look like a girl. But it was cool. And that was bold. That was very bold for her to do. So it was cool. Stanley had his moment. Stanley was on point. You ain't been paying Stanley no attention. Stanley had his moment. We come on in here. House of Arishi was next. They did floor performance. It was just okay for me. Floor performance, see, that's a touch and go. And they ain't do no whole lot of nothing that really got me going. They were just okay. It was all right. Anyway. Next was House of Garçon. They had Duck Walk. Child, so they went and listen, you already know when it comes to a production, we got a former Miss Continental over there. I always go in looking for a fabulous performance and production because of the fact that they got Sasha over there. And listen, I just come to expect it. They went burlesque. The whole house basically was in drag. And I didn't know how that was going to go. When she said it, I was like, girl, I don't know, Miss Tasha. But it was fabulous. Baby, they was giving, see, they kept talking about pasties. I thought for sure they were going to just put Tasha in the pasties. But they pulled the rug, baby. And now they had the boys with the pasties. And I said, yes, come on with these pasties. So the costume was really, really cute. Tonka finally had the moment that I was waiting for with Tonka. Tonka had his moment because I just felt like they done clown Tonka most of this time. Tonka looked really good. And as a matter of fact, I kept looking at Tonka. Tonka was putting me in mind of Latrice Royale. And I was living, because y'all know I love me some Latrice Royale. And Tonka was putting me in mind of Latrice Royale. And I just think that was his moment. I was living for Tonka in this one. Moving on. Next was House of Miyake Mugler. They had hand performance. I was like, come on, what y'all going to do with this? Listen. Because hand performance, you got to do something. You got to do something to hold people's attention. If you don't, because everybody don't understand hand performance and don't understand how difficult it is to think off the cuff and really keep coming up with something interesting to do where your hands are the focal point. Because a dip ain't going to help you to get the people excited. A spin or a hair toss is not going to help you. It literally is about your hands. And you don't really think about how difficult it is for several minutes and how slow those minutes start going by when you got to keep thinking of something to do with your hands. There's a definite skill set to that. So listen, let me tell you something. House of Miyake Mugler, they were perfect. They were perfect. Their costuming was everything. Everything. I enjoyed them. I really, really did. And just the commitment behind all of it. Arturo actually shaved his beard off for this. And he had actually been growing his beard for 6 years and shaved his beard off. That is commitment. That's commitment. Listen, let me tell you something. Now, y'all know I'm Milan. Y'all be talking to me. You don't know whether you're talking to James or Milan half the time. But I would come up here and drag for y'all more often because I get my little messages. People like, we ain't seen Milan. Child, I don't be wanting to shave this off. And it'll grow right back. So I can't even imagine 6 years growing your beard and you chopping it off for a ball. That's commitment, baby. I'm telling you, I don't be wanting to shave off my little bit of nothing sometimes to be playing around in no makeup, fooling with you all, child. So I get it. I was like, come on through, Arturo. But they were perfect. I really, really enjoyed them. I did. Now, after that, we go into this other category of hand performance in shadow boxes. I found this to be problematic. Because did you all notice that you couldn't really see in the blue box? The blue box, for some reason, seemed dark. And maybe it was the angles, the camera angles, but it just seemed like you couldn't really see everything in the blue box. So I felt like the person in the blue box was really having a hard time coming through. All in all, Khalik, I think his name is Khalik. I kept running it back. I said, is this child's name Khalif or Khalik? I think it's Khalik. But he actually did his thing in there. Miyake Mugler snatched Superior House for the week. And it was like, okay, cool, no problem. Down on the bottom was House of Arishi and House of Tishi. So we got Father Omari, and they put him up against Simone. It's Khalik. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, baby. And I meant to go look to see, because I don't follow. I'm getting better with this following the people. I don't follow reality stars because you know what? I don't need to really be in a friendship with a reality star because I don't need it to hinder what I do, because I'm going to say what I got to say about you, even if we're friends, even if we are cordial. If you do some bullshit while you are on your show, I'm going to say, no, friend was full of some bullshit. That's that. So I just don't really follow them. And I kind of try to stay out of their real life in real time so I can report on just the show and not report on what's going on in real time. Because it just helps me to stay in line with the show. Because a lot of times what you see with reality shows, what they're doing in real time screws up you watching the show. it screws up your whole show watch experience because you already know. Child, how many seasons have we watched Real Housewives of Atlanta and you know everything that's going to happen on the show because you've been watching these heifers all summer long clowning, and you know what the whole storyline is because it's playing out on social media as it's going on. They arguing and shit, and then you want us to sit all wintertime and look at it all over again. Well, we done already seen it. So we're literally like stammering through the winter bored. That's what you start seeing in the reviews, where all the reviewers are saying, child, this season is boring. This season is boring. Because we done already seen it play out in real time. We're literally just trying to walk through this shit, trying to get to the damn reunion. So that's kind of why I don't do that. But I'm getting better at it. So anyway, listen, down off my soapbox, but boom, boom, bam, and I'm back. The baby's name is Khalik. Khalik, it's a cute name. Anyway. Father Omari and Simone, they go ahead and they get the voting, child. Now, I was like, I don't know about this because Father Omari is good. And I was like, Simone, you pretty, but that's what your lane is. You pretty. Yes, you can vote. Yes. Yes, ma'am. But I don't know that you got nothing for Father. You know, and sometimes that hair ain't going to do it. You know, swinging hair and being pretty ain't going to do it. And this time it didn't do it. And Father Omari won over Simone. And that's when the shit started. Baby. Then y'all got to see a real live ballroom moment where somebody gets mad and Miss Simone walked off. Well, she walked off, then she came back. Then she tried to tell the judges off, honey. And Law and Megan shut shit down. They were like, oh, so when we live for you, Miss Thing, everything's rah, rah, siskumba. But when we're not living for you, bitch, you walking off and stomping and carrying on, and now you hollering at us. Girl, bye. Bye, girl. Bye. Don't do it. So that didn't work out very well for them. Didn't work out real well. So that was that. House of Arishi took it. Let's move on. What you say? The unedited version of Simone's speech is all over Twitter. Oh, jeez. Bubba Fat, again, whether she's right or not, that's real ballroom. Whatever the judges say is what the judges say, and nobody gives a shit. Whether it don't matter what you say. That's what I'm saying. That's it. Again, I didn't make the rules. That is what ballroom is. Don't nobody care. Don't nobody care. No one cares. That is for the streets to talk about after it's over. It's for the children in the street to say, you know, they gooped her. They served her. That's the streets' thing. They don't want you standing up there giving all that. They shouldn't have been in the bottom. Right. You know how I go, child. So I don't know why she did that, because it just put them in a bad light with the judges. And remember, you gotta, just in general with production and everything, it just wasn't. You listen, just play the game. Just play the game. Don't mess yourself up. What's up, Deanna? Okay, so let's move on. And she did lose the battle. She did lose the battle. That was Omari tore her up. But let's move on to season 2, episode 8. Now, episode 8, the guest judge. Oh, and the guest judge in that one was Adam Lambert. Okay, moving on. The guest judge in this one was Demi Lovato. Moving on. This was an Arctic blast. It was an ice ball. So I was here for that. I was like, okay. Adam Lambert, Princess, from American Idol. Now, Adam Lambert is sickening. Sickening. Beautiful queen. He's a beautiful gay man, and I think he'd be real fierce. But, girl, on this, I don't give a shit about no goddamn Adam Lambert, child. Go over there and sing one of them songs and be screaming and hitting them high notes, honey. This was not the time. I was like, okay, Adam. Anyway, and Demi, same thing, honey. I live for Demi. She cool for the summer. She like a little, honey, she, all that. I live for Miss Demi. But in this, girl, get on, Miss Demi. Anyway, moving on. Arctic Blast, honey. So Ice War. Ice War. This was really all about, and I'm over here looking at Natalia. I ain't doing this with Natalia. Talking about Demi was tired. I wanted to go to sleep. Just ignorant. Anyway, moving on. Ice War. It was all about posing and dips. Hey, Xavier. Posing and dips. Okay. So I was like, cool. House of Arishi. They did this whole thing with Yeti, like a Yeti queen. You know what a Yeti is, right? Okay. So like a snow monster, child. Like Bigfoot, but the blue version, the blue and white version. So a Yeti queen and skates. It was cute. It was cute. It really was cute. Visually, I liked it. I was like, this is cool. But this next one right here, baby, that house of Miyake Mugler came out here and tore this shit down. Tore it down. When I say all like production turned it out. They had everything in place. The costumings were flawless. They did like a whole ski trip. They had a ski lift, little situation going on. Arturo was in this ball and came out. It was a big clear ball. It came out and he was symbolizing an avalanche. The poses were sickening. And just the costume. And when I say they were in sync, they were in sync. That performance right there was, for me, so far with 8 episodes, that was my favorite performance of this whole complete season thus far. It was cute. I got the concept. They didn't have to do no explaining or none of that, because that's the big thing. If I can't look at it and you got to start telling me what you was doing and why you were doing it, fail. House of Balenciaga is truly overrated. They benefit from these extra points. Right, Bubba, and listen, and there's tea floating around, baby, about some contracts, allegedly. Anyway, I'm just moving on, honey. Listen, I'll be digging my nails into that a little more. You'll find out more about that. Those types of things fall out on my kitchen table, honey. So keep your ears and your eyes open for KTTL, honey. And that's where you'll hear about that. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, that was my favorite performance of the whole season. House of Balenciaga, let's talk about them. To be honest, Miss Honey, that goddamn Miss Honey, their little star, she was too honest, honey. They did their little thing, and it was like, okay, it was just okay. It was just okay. And then we turn around, and Miss Honey busts out and starts pointing out their flaws. Excuse me, Miss Honey? Who the hell told this bitch to start talking? We just want you to dance, girl. We don't want you to talk this thing. She's so, well, I didn't like these boots, and everybody knows I wear a stiletto thigh high and this, that. Bitch, who are you? You ain't Selena Kyle, bitch. You're Honey. You trying to make it. You not Michelle Pfeiffer. You ain't made it yet. You wear whatever boots they give you to wear before they boot you. But she was running her mouth and she pointed out all the flaws. The judges didn't even realize that they had made some mistakes. This whore done told it all. I said, if Mother Balenciaga don't give that bitch this, honey, whack up. Shut up. She told it all. Law, because they was giving him 10s and shit. Law bust out and gave him a 7 because of Honey's mouth. I said, and then he checked her. Oh, shut up, honey. Shut up. I saw you. We'll pick it up right after I get done. I was like, child, a mess. Miss Honey, you did too much. And I did. I was sitting over here. I was like, Miss Honey, Miss Honey. Don't you hear me calling you Miss Honey? Girl, shut up, girl. Child, please. The bitch knew that I'd be back. She knew that I was not calling on Miss Honey. I used to be the jam. Anyway, moving on. They checked her. Shannon had to literally shut her up because she was trying to grab the mic from Shannon to say something back to Law. I said, child, y'all better get her under. Yeah, they gotta. I praise her. I've been praising her this whole season, but they gotta get her. They gotta put her bitch back in the box. She gonna mess them up with her mouth. And then when they went backstage, she's laughing at the judges. I said, she gonna be the very reason that nobody likes y'all. Nobody gonna like y'all. And maybe you'll be the shit on here. But if this is the last time we ever see you all on television, was it really all for nothing? Fuck it with Miss Honey. Anyway, moving on. House of Garçon was next. It was pretty, but it was boring, which was really odd. It was pretty, but it was boring. I was like, Sasha, no, ma'am. No, ma'am, not at all. Next thing, they had this whole runway category called 3 Fab Mice. Now, we went through all of the stuff about how synchronization, especially in runway, it is very difficult. It is very difficult. It is because we all walk differently. We do. We walk differently. We just do. You know, you got one hoe and some pumps. You got one boy and some boots. You know, but everybody, them legs and the arms and everything has to be moving in sync. It's hard. It's just like doing dance choreography, and you're not actually dancing. So it's really, you're walking. It's very difficult. Listen, House of Mugler, that Miyake Mugler killed it. Killed it. And it had to be 3 people. They killed it to the point everybody else got chopped. And they looked back and they were like, well, wait a minute. Ain't no battle. And child, that's when Deshaun said, welcome to when bitches get chopped. Ain't no thing. There was no battle. So they won the category, hands down. I just sat over here and laughed. But they were fab. They turned it out. Next, they moved on to this category of face. Now, this is where everybody, all my folks who watch me review this show, have been waiting for me to do. Yesterday, I was doing KTTL, and they were down there fussing at me, talking about, well, where is the review for Legendary? Because they want to hear what I had to say about the team face category. And y'all already knew what I was going to say. But anyway, so listen. When you think you already know what's going to go on, so you ain't excited, because I wasn't excited about no team face. I was like, y'all, we already know what this is going to be. We already know. And then the first thing they did was they used their superior house situation, and they shut Shannon out. So now ain't no battle, because ain't nobody left now but Starsha. I wasn't excited at all. I was like, whatever. Baby, let me tell you something. They got the carrying on and doing this little category and giving their little, and baby, Miss Starsha, first of all, the bitch had this flawless coat on. I said, bitch, coat was everything for me. So she was tearing the kids up, honey. Doing like it was going just like I thought it was. She's tearing the kids up. And then, honey, that little beautiful little Khalik came out, honey, and beat Starsha on face. Honey, when I tell you Miss Sasha's face was so cracked. So cracked, honey. She says, one Sasha, two Sasha. Gordo's giving no more Sasha, honey. Click, 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 honey. And she was giving, I said, got you, bitch. Cracked her face. I was like, wow. She was literally speechless. When she went back there, she was like, well, they're like, well, what happened? She's like, and she caught herself because she is a former Miss Continental. So she caught herself and she gave the patch. She says, I just don't know, darling. I don't know. I said, good girl. Because I know she wanted to say, they're full of motherfucking shit. But baby, that colleague cracked her face, honey. I said, oh my. Okay, girl. So that was the best. That was the big poo-poo, honey, on that. And then we turned around. So we got Garcon and Orishi down in the bottom. Child, so they go with, Garcon goes with Egypt. And Orishi, Father Omari, comes back up again. Now, let me tell you something. Now we on the TV show. Not in the ballroom. See, in the ballroom, yes, Father could come all the time. When we get down to the last part, we could go ahead and get to the last, and we could just send Father out, and Father could just whoop the shit out of everybody and go on. Well, it just didn't work out that way because the judges weren't feeling that. The judges weren't feeling that, and they told him, and Egypt beat Father Orishi and sent the house of Orishi packing. And they told him, yes, we seen you week after week. Whenever you all fall into the bottom, y'all send Father out, and Father whoops up the kids, honey, and then y'all go back. But this is about the whole house, the house as a whole. It's cute that Father can come out here and whoop up the kids from the other houses and then save his house all the time. But we want to see what can the kids do. So y'all go ahead on home. I said, oh. So you want to be a legend? You want to be a star? Child, listen. That is it for season 2, episode 7 and episode 8 of Legend. You don't know what this show is going to give you. That's the one thing. Is that the judges are shady as shit. Just like in the real ballroom. They're shady. You just don't know what side of the bed they done woke up on. That's about the only thing in here that really resembles real ballroom. They real off and on. They shady, child. Shady, shady, shady. This is not on it's not cable so much as it's HBO Max. So you can actually, you gotta have cable. You get you some HBO Max. They'll just charge you $15 for it. Right. All right, you guys. Thank y'all for hanging out. I appreciate it. Listen, Thursday night, it'll be back on again, and I'll see y'all then. Good night.